Welcome to Trading Psychology Lab, the channel where traders come to sharpen their mindset, master discipline, and unlock consistent performance in the markets. If you've ever wondered what separates the traders who thrive year after year from those who crash and burn, the answer isn't just in their strategies. It's in their minds. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most transformative books in trading psychology, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Published in 2000, this book has been a game-changer for traders worldwide, from beginners to Wall Street pros. Mark Douglas, a trading coach who worked with hedge funds and individual traders, uncovered a truth. Even the best trading systems fail if your mindset isn't aligned with the market's realities. In this audiobook-style summary, we're breaking down the core psychological principles of trading in the zone, how to trade without fear, embrace uncertainty, and develop a mindset that thrives under pressure. We'll follow the journey of a struggling trader named Sarah, share real-world examples, and give you 6 practical exercises to transform your trading. By the end of this hour, you'll have a roadmap to trade with clarity, confidence, and consistency. So, grab a notebook, settle in, and let's master the mental game of trading. Let's start with a story. Meet Sarah, a trader who's been at it for 2 years. She studied every candlestick pattern, mastered technical indicators, and even built a trading plan she's proud of. But something's not clicking. Sarah chases hot stocks out of FOMO, hesitates when her system signals a trade, and panics during market dips, exiting trades at the worst possible moment. Her account balance is shrinking, her stress is skyrocketing, and she's starting to wonder if she's cut out for trading. Sound familiar? Maybe you've felt that same frustration, knowing you have the tools but still falling short. Sarah's problem isn't her strategy. It's her mindset. She's fighting the market, her emotions, and herself. This is where trading in the zone comes in. Mark Douglas wrote this book for traders like Sarah, and maybe for you. Douglas spent years coaching traders and noticed a pattern. Those who succeeded weren't just smarter or luckier, they thought differently. They had a mental framework that let them navigate the market's chaos with calm and clarity. Let's follow Sarah's journey as she discovers Douglas' principles and transforms her trading. First up, learning to embrace uncertainty. One of the biggest mistakes traders make is craving certainty. Sarah used to think that with enough analysis, she could predict the market's next move. But the market doesn't work that way. Douglas says the market is inherently uncertain, random, even. Expecting every trade to win is like expecting to predict the weather perfectly every day. It's not going to happen. Instead, Douglas teaches traders to think in probabilities. Every trade is just one event in a series, like flipping a coin. You might know there's a 50% chance of heads, but you don't bet your life on every flip. Trading is the same. Your job isn't to be right every time. It's to execute your edge consistently over many trades. Let's look at Sarah's experience. Early on, she'd obsess over every loss, thinking it meant she was a failure. If a stock tanked after she bought it, she'd spiral, questioning her entire strategy. Douglas' insight helped her see that losses are just part of the game. They don't define your skill, they're just noise in the bigger picture. As Douglas puts it, the market is neutral, it doesn't care what you think. By accepting uncertainty, Sarah stopped fighting the market. She started focusing on her process, following her system, managing risk, rather than obsessing over outcomes. Here's a real-world example. In 2020, during the volatile COVID market crash, many traders panicked as stocks plummeted. Those who embraced uncertainty, like Douglas students, saw it as an opportunity. They stuck to their systems, buying undervalued assets while others froze. The result? They profited when markets rebounded. To embrace uncertainty, you need to let go of the need to be right. See every trade as a data point, not a verdict on your worth. This mindset shift is the foundation of trading in the zone. To help traders internalize this probabilistic mindset, Douglas introduces 5 fundamental truths that rewire how you see the market. These truths are the backbone of trading in the zone, and they changed Sarah's trading forever. Let's break them down one by one. Truth number 1, anything can happen. The market is unpredictable. A perfect chart setup can fail and a risky trade can win. Sarah used to get frustrated when her sure-thing trades flopped. Accepting that anything can happen freed her to trade without unrealistic expectations. Truth number 2. You don't need to know what's next to make money. You don't need a crystal ball to succeed. Your edge, your system, gives you a statistical advantage over time. Sarah learned she didn't need to predict every move, just execute her plan. Truth number 3. Wins and losses are random in the short term. A single trade doesn't define you. Douglas compares trading to a casino. The house doesn't win every hand, but it profits over thousands of hands. Sarah stopped judging herself by one trade and focused on the long game. Truth number 4. Your edge is a higher probability of success over many trades. Your system isn't about winning every time. It's about having an edge that plays out over hundreds of trades. Sarah's edge was her trend-following strategy, which worked 60% of the time. That was enough. Truth number 5. Every moment in the market is unique. No two trades are identical, so stop projecting past wins or losses onto the present. Sarah used to avoid trades that reminded her of past losses. Douglas taught her to treat each trade as a fresh opportunity. Here's an analogy to make this stick. Think of trading like playing poker. A great poker player doesn't win every hand, but they know their odds, play their strategy, and trust the math over time. Sarah started thinking like that poker player. She stopped chasing perfect trades and trusted her edge. In 2021, when meme stocks like GameStop skyrocketed, traders without this mindset got burned chasing hype. Those who followed Douglas' truths stayed disciplined, avoided FOMO, and stuck to their systems. The 5 truths are your mental anchor. Memorize them, and you'll trade with unshakable clarity. Now, let's dive into the heart of trading in the zone. Trading without emotion. Fear, greed, and hope are the biggest obstacles to consistent trading. Sarah's story shows this perfectly. Early on, fear kept her from entering trades. She'd see a setup but worry about losing money. When she did trade, greed made her hold losing positions too long, hoping they'd turn around. And after a big win, hope made her overtrade, thinking she was invincible. Douglas says these emotions come from attaching your self-worth to your trades. To trade in the zone, you need to detach. Douglas compares trading to running a business. A business owner doesn't take every sale or expense personally. They analyze, adjust, and keep going. Sarah learned to see losses as feedback, not failures. A losing trade doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It means the market did what it does. Act randomly. Douglas' famous quote sums it up. The market doesn't care about your feelings. Why should you? To get there, Sarah practiced treating trading like a game of probabilities, not a test of her ego. Here's a real-world scenario. In 2022, when inflation fears rocked markets, many traders let panic drive their decisions, selling at lows. Traders who followed Douglas' advice stayed calm, followed their systems, and avoided emotional traps. Sarah, for example, used to panic during volatility. After studying trading in the zone, she started meditating before trading sessions to stay grounded. By detaching from emotions, she could execute her plan no matter what the market threw at her. This emotional discipline is what separates pros from amateurs. Douglas goes deeper than just emotions. He talks about beliefs. Your beliefs about trading, money, and yourself shape every decision you make. Sarah had a belief that she wasn't good enough to succeed, which led to self-sabotage. She'd ignore her trading plan, take impulsive trades, or second-guess her analysis. Douglas says self-sabotage comes from conflicting beliefs. For example, if you believe trading is risky but also that you need to take big risks to win big, you'll feel torn. Trading in the zone teaches you to align your beliefs with the realities of the market. Douglas suggests examining your beliefs about trading. Do you believe you need to be right all the time? That losses mean failure? That you need to outsmart the market? These beliefs set you up to fail. Instead, adopt beliefs that support a probabilistic mindset. I don't need to be perfect. Losses are part of the process. My edge will win over time. Sarah rewrote her beliefs by journaling them daily. She replaced, I have to win every trade, with, I need to follow my system consistently. This shift stopped her self-sabotage and built her confidence. Here's an example. In 2018, when Bitcoin crashed from $20,000 to $3,000, traders with limiting beliefs, like, "I can't lose money," panicked and sold at the bottom. Those with aligned beliefs, like Douglas students, saw the crash as part of the market's randomness and stuck to their long-term strategies. To rewire your beliefs, you need to identify them, challenge them, and replace them with ones that support your trading goals. Now, let's get practical. Here are 6 exercises inspired by trading in the zone to help you build a winning mindset. These are designed to be actionable, so grab a pen and let's dive in. Probability journal. For the next 30 days, track every trade in a journal. Don't just note profits or losses. Record whether you followed your trading plan, what emotions you felt, and what triggered them. Review weekly to spot patterns. This builds discipline and shifts your focus to process over outcome. Pre-trade visualization. Before every trading session, spend 5 minutes visualizing. Picture a winning trade and a losing trade. Imagine accepting both outcomes calmly, without emotional reaction. This prepares you to handle any result and reduces attachment. Daily mindset check. Each morning, write down one of Douglas' 5 truths, like "anything can happen," and reflect on it for 2 minutes. How does it apply to your trading today? This keeps you grounded in a probabilistic mindset. Belief audit. Write down 5 beliefs you have about trading, e.g., "I need to be right," or "losses are bad." For each, ask, "Does this help or hurt my trading?" Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones, like "losses are feedback." Review this weekly. Loss acceptance meditation. Once a week, sit quietly for 10 minutes. Visualize a recent losing trade and say to yourself, "This is part of trading. I accept it." This trains your brain to see losses as normal, not personal. Consistency checklist. Create a 1-page checklist for your trading plan, e.g., entry criteria, risk limits, exit rules. Before every trade, review it to ensure you're following your system, not your emotions. Sarah used this to stay disciplined during volatile markets. These exercises aren't just theory, they're tools to rewire your brain. Sarah started with the probability journal and saw her discipline improve in just 2 weeks. Pick 1 or 2 to start and commit to them for a month. You'll be amazed at the results. Before we wrap up, let's answer some common questions traders have about trading in the zone. Question 1. How long does it take to develop this mindset? It varies, but Douglas says consistency is key. With daily practice, like the exercises we shared, you can see changes in a few weeks. Sarah noticed a shift in a month. Question 2. Can I apply these principles to any trading style? Absolutely. Whether you're a day trader, swing trader, or investor, the 5 truths and emotional discipline apply to any market, stocks, forex, crypto, you name it. Question 3. What if I keep slipping back into emotional trading? That's normal. Douglas says progress isn't linear. Use your journal to spot triggers and double down on visualization to stay grounded. Question 4. How do I know if I'm in the zone? You'll feel calm, focused, and detached from outcomes. Trades will feel like routine decisions, not emotional roller coasters. Got more questions? Drop them in the comments and we'll keep the conversation going. Mark Douglas' Trading in the Zone is more than a book. It's a blueprint for mastering the mental game of trading. By embracing uncertainty, internalizing the 5 truths, detaching from emotions, and rewiring your beliefs, you can trade with the confidence and consistency of the pros. Sarah went from a stressed, inconsistent trader to someone who trades in the zone, and you can too. Start with one of the 6 exercises we shared today. Which one will you try first? Let us know in the comments below. If the summary helped you see the market differently, give it a thumbs up and share it with a fellow trader. Subscribe to Trading Psychology Lab for more audiobook-style breakdowns of trading psychology classics like Alexander Elder's Trading for a Living, coming up next. Hit the bell so you don't miss it. Until then, keep sharpening your mindset, stay disciplined, and trade with confidence. We'll see you in the next video.